Okay.
Okay. I think we are ready to start. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We're just excited to have so many people here tonight that we get to recognize, and those family members and friends who are here to support them. It is Thursday, May 23rd, 5:30, and we are having our board meeting. We will begin with roll call, and we'll start with Larry.
Larry Jepson, board member.
Randall Bagley, board member.
Steve Norton, superintendent.
Roger Pulsifer, board member.
Kathy Christiansen, board member.
Chris Corcoran, board member.
Jeff Nielsen, board member.
Terry Rhodes, board member.
And Dale Hanson, business administrator.
Thank you. We'd like to begin with a pledge, and Roger Pulsifer will lead us in the pledge. If you'll all please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our mission is to educate students for success in a changing world.
Thank you. We are going to start by giving the oath of office to our new board member, Chris Corcoran. So we'll just go ahead and right up here in front. Oh, yeah, sorry. I just figured since I knew, everybody else knew. We had a vacancy on our board because one of our board members left to go on a mission with his wife, and Chris Corcoran was selected, and he has been approved by the board, and we are just going to now swear him in officially.
Dale?
I, Chris Corcoran, having been appointed to the office of school board member, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Thank you. We are really looking forward to having Chris on our board. I think he will be a great addition and add a lot of expertise and wisdom to the board. Okay, we'll begin now with our recognitions, and we're going to start out with the Sheriff's Medal presented to the Cache County School District Planning and Safety Team, and that will be taken care of by Kurt Jenkins.
Nice of everybody. So last Wednesday, we were invited to attend the Sheriff's annual banquet, and there we received an award for exceptional service to the Sheriff's Office. They stated in the past year, our office has had the privilege of working with Cache County School District safety team from anyway, it goes on and on. I wasn't going to read the whole thing, so it's too long. But some of our members couldn't be here today, but I'd like them to come up and receive some recognition. So our team includes Ivy Anderson, who can't be here today. Sean Kelly can't be here also. Jen Denai. Debbie Reese couldn't be with us this evening. Clayton White. Clayton was planning on being here. And Karen Peterson. And myself.
Okay.
So, appreciate the hard work. We've all worked very hard this year, not only on safety plans, but on training and just trying to make our schools a safer place. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we need a picture.
Just take the picture.
Thank you, and congratulations. All right, next we would like to recognize the Lincoln Elementary 5th grade stock market team, and this will be taken care of by Principal Jenny Bust. And just a little background on this team, they competed at the state and won first, second, and third place. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about how that happened.
Mr. Cornwell, Mrs. Porter, would you guys come up, please?
So every year, our 5th grade participates in what's called the stock market game, and they break into teams of 3 or 4 of them, of students, and then the teachers bring in speaker, and they talk about financial securities and all of the different things in stocks and that, and it's a website that they get on, and they search their stocks and different things like that, and they're given $150,000 to begin with, and they, like I said, they're taught in that, and then by the end of the time that they are it's monitored the entire time, and it's based on the real stock market. They're watching true stocks that are going on in the world, and at the end of the time, Mr. Cornwell had the first place team, and it was first place. They had break it into categories: high school, middle school, and elementary, and our first grade elementary team was actually first in the entire state by about $40,000. Oh, nice. And then Mrs. Porter had the second place and third place team in the state. And most of them are here, so they're gonna get up and just kind of explain a little bit of what they did. We went down to a banquet at the Joseph Smith Memorial Building, and they honored all of the kids down there, and they got to speak, and it's pretty awesome. It's a really great award to get.
Okay,
so,
can we have all
right,
those
stock
students?
market team, you guys head on up.
Grab that mic out of there and
Okay.
when they talk.
Don't hurry back to your seats after you're done, because we'll want to get a picture.
Okay, all right. So what I want you guys to do is just introduce yourselves, and then just kind of get the speech that you guys gave a couple weeks ago, okay?
I'm Bergen Riley. I'm Kim Pieja, and we were known as the Golden Girls in the stock market game. We were first place team division in elementary, but we came first place in our whole state.
Awesome.
We learned a lot in math and some other subjects. It was a really good learning experience. Our stocks we bought were Comcast, Cisco, General Mills, Dental Corporation, and the stock that took us from last to first place was Hunter Maritime. We bought 1,000 shares at $17.18, and we sold it. The next day, it went up to $95, and we sold it. That made us over $93,000.
We are the second place team of Lincoln Elementary.
I'm Logan.
I'm Max. I'm Kayla.
I'm Kylie.
I'm Jesse.
This is Eliza.
We went willy-nilly at first, choosing stocks because we knew them and liked them, or because they looked good. Our 3 best stocks were Costco.
That was our very best.
Relux and Fold.
We used a site called FinVisible Map and S&P 500, and Eliza did the math. Yeah. We learned about the stock. We learned about the economic system, and how the Great Depression changed stock market history. Thank you.
Okay, we're probably going to need you to kind of
Center up.
center up a little
Move this
bit
way.
and put some of the students in a row in front. Would your parents please stand so we can recognize you for the support and help you gave them at home to accomplish this? Congratulations, students, and thank you, teachers, so much. That's awesome.
I think your teacher and principal were going to take you all to McDonald's, so.
No. They were taking us to McDonald's. The two big winners.
The first place team.
That's awesome. Okay, we would next like to recognize Randall Beach, who received the Sorensen Legacy Excellence in Art Education Award. He's from Green Canyon High School, and Delpha Hall, the Cache County School District Arts Coordinator, is going to present this award.
I love this because he has to face everybody while I'm telling how awesome he is. It's great. Randall is one of our amazing band teachers here, and it was a pleasure to nominate him for this award, and to see him win this award was really exciting. I want to share with you just a few of the comments that were in the biography that was shared at the awards banquet for Randall, and then I'm going to add a couple of things just to embarrass him a little more. Randall Beach, director of bands at Green Canyon High School, began his teaching career 28 years ago and has taught in the Cache County School District for the past 10 years. Randall has developed quality band programs at 2 high schools, both Skyview and Green Canyon, during his tenure in this district. Superintendent Steve Norton praised Randall by saying, "I have worked with thousands of teachers and staff members. In my opinion, he is one of the best. It is my firm belief that Randall has positively impacted the lives of many students, both as a friend and as a teacher. I would rank him in the top 3 of the many teachers I have worked with. Randall's ability to reach into the lives of students is unparalleled. They rise to meet his expectations because of their love and respect for him." Randall married his wife Jill in 1985, and they have 6 children and 4 grandchildren. I just wanted to add that in addition to these accomplishments mentioned here, I've had the opportunity to observe Randall teaching and watch the way his students respond to him, and it's magical. It's really wonderful. So if you ever get a chance to drop into the Green Canyon Band classes and watch Randall at work, I know he would love to have you there, and you get to see that magic happening. In addition to the impact he's had on the students and the community and the parents. If you ask any of the parents of those students, they'll tell you that he's had an impact on them as well. But he is one of those teachers who is willing to reach out to other teachers and help them and strengthen them, not in a, hey, I'm better than you, so you should listen to me way, because that's not the way Randall works. He prefers to be in the background, and this is making him really, really nervous. But in a way that says, I care about you, and I care about your students, and I'm willing to help you however I can help you. And that's the quality of person that he is, as well as quality of teacher. So can we please give applause to Randall for this accomplishment?
Thank you. Randall, we'd like to get a picture with you in Delpha. And is your wife or family here? Let's recognize them for all the support. Would you please stand? Thank you so much.
Just one more thing I forgot to mention. Randall received a cash award for his program, a cash award for himself, which he's supposed to not use on his program, but on himself, and a very nice plaque. Not plaque. It was a specially designed award using the colors from the schools that he's taught at. So.
Great. Thank you. We appreciate what you do so much. All right. We'll next move on to our high school student recognitions. And we've got several of them here tonight. First of all, we'd like to begin with Green Canyon and Skyview, We the People team. And I believe that Principal Mike Monson and Principal Dave Swenson are presenting that. Okay.
let's have the We the People participants come on up here. Come on up here, Andrea. This is our second trip up here as a combined Green Canyon Skyview We the People team. Prior to that, it was Skyview, and I think this is the second time that they've taken first in state as a combined team. But prior to that, I think it's 13 years in a row at Skyview, and so it's great to have both of them combined. This year, they have the opportunity to compete at state and become state champions, and I think also their 13th or 14th trip back to nationals. 13th trip back to nationals. And I had the opportunity last year to go to the nationals with them and to see really what they do, and it is quite amazing when you sit in and listen to them answer questions in front of federal judges and attorneys and senators and congressmen and things like that. It's really a neat experience. But this year, and we've had several of them before, but this year we had a unit take first in the nation. And I'm going to have Andrea come on up here. Mike Rigby's also the advisor and teacher and coach, and he's trying to get back from paradise in time, but he may not be here. But I'm going to let her tell a little bit more about what the hard work that they've done. I know I've seen them at Green Canyon before school and late at night preparing for this, and they start clear back in probably October, or well, I guess the time school starts, August, yeah. So, but I'd like to introduce Andrea here, the Skyview coach and teacher.
Hey there, everybody. Hello. Yeah, so We the People is an astounding program. It's run by the Center for Civic Education from the 1980s, where they decided that, kids weren't as involved in this civic world, not just running for office or voting, but, being part of community establishments, coming to school board meetings, stuff like that, right? And so they decided to establish this program where the kids are separated into 6 different groups, and each group focuses on a certain part of the Constitution. So some kids focused on the philosophy of the Constitution. Raise your hand if you're Unit 1, philosophy. History, Bill of Rights, how it affects us in the 21st century, the Declaration of Independence, all of these kinds of things they had to focus on. And they've been working lots of hours outside of class since August, and they have worked so hard, and I can't express to you how difficult it is. At nationals, their judges are literally Supreme Court justices from state Supreme Court benches. They're prestigious lawyers. They're Columbia law professors, and these kids from Cache Valley, Utah impress those people. And they represent Utah extremely well, and we're ridiculously proud of them. And all I have to say is, Chris, if you need any tips on what that Constitution says that you just swore to uphold, these are the ones to talk to, okay? Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, can we just have them introduce your name and then, just a little bit about something that you gained from this thing that you just spent your life doing this last year.
Okay, I'm Lexi Fidel, and probably the biggest impact that We the People had on my life was just teaching me how to work with other people, even though I might not like them.
I'm Lily Hayes. I made a ton of friends, and that's what I really loved. And I also got to learn a lot about the issues that we're dealing with right now and how that applies to our government and Constitution.
Hold that mic close.
My name is Tabitha Smeal. I really love the We the People program, and I think one of the best things that I've gained from this is just perspective and maybe even a chance to consider some career paths because of this.
My name is Ruby Vehar, and what I really liked about the We the People program is I learned a lot of research methods that you're going to need in college mostly, but also just if I ever need to find anything for talk for church, I can go way into it and go into huge conspiracy theories of things. And so it's just really fun. And I just really liked being with a bunch of people, and I learned to work really hard because we're up 6 in the morning every day and go home around 9 o'clock, and it was very fun.
I'm Ryan. I would say that it affirmed my love of politics, and my favorite part of it was just seeing people's viewpoints from the other side, and having friends that were on the other aisle, and hanging out with them, and then just being able to, I guess, agree to disagree and to get some other ideas.
I'm Jacob Barrett, and I really liked looking at philosophers and historians of the past and see which of their ideas are like great and which of them are terrible. And luckily, we used the great ones for the most part. So,
hey, my name is Bryson Taylor. I would say something that the We the People program taught me was it taught me to love to read and write, and also to work hard for things I wanted to do.
I'm Joshua Jensen, and the biggest thing that I'm grateful for was the opportunity to be around diverse thoughts and opinions and to have my own ideas and thoughts challenged and strengthened because of it.
I'm Carson Ballard, and I guess the biggest thing that stuck out to me was just what kind of impact the young people can have if they actually take the time to learn about what this country does and what it stands for and what we can do in the future.
I'm Emily Bennett, and the biggest thing I learned was just what a miracle our United States Constitution is and how blessed we are to have it and how it applies to every day.
I'm Jacob Benson. I would say the thing I learned best from We the People was how to work hard and just look at things I haven't looked at before, such as like Supreme Court case law, and I don't know.
I'm Jacob Perry, and I learned more how to have a conversation rather than an argument.
I'm Olivia Larson, and my favorite thing about We the People was learning how to work in groups and also the friendships that I gained.
So anyway, I'll be really fast, but this is actually my 10-year anniversary of being in their shoes. And I was in the We the People program at Skyview High School 10 years ago, and obviously it's immeasurably changed my life. And I've seen it in the lives of so many who don't go into politics or history or anything like that. They don't become lawyers, but they're good citizens of the world. You know, they're compassionate. They know how to find ideas. They know how to interact with people. And I love this program, and I'm so grateful that Cache County, not just Skyview, but also Mountain Crest and Ridgeline have been the really stalwart, the banner holders, those who have been really pushing it forward for the last 15 years in the state of Utah. So I'm very proud of us.
I'll just mention real quick, Mike Rigby obviously deserves a lot of credit. He's done this for years and has built a great program. Andrea is a product of it, and she is so passionate about it. We're so happy to have her on our staff at Skyview, and she has led our kids and is a great classroom teacher. And you talk about being a good citizen. Well, part of being a good citizen is coming back and teaching and sharing your knowledge and ability with others, and so we appreciate you and Mike for all that you've done, and these kids really should be commended.
Thank you.
Can we have the parents, if they have some parents here, if they'd stand?
They all drive themselves.
That's right. Too smart to have parents, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell your parents.
They'd like a picture. Oh, there we go. We'd like to get a picture, so if you could kind of squeeze in.
Maybe put the boys in the back, girls in the front, principals on each side. Thank you. Good job. We're proud of you. Next, we'd like to recognize the Skyview State Soccer Champions.
Okay. Yeah. Let me invite our team and our coaches up. While they're coming up, I don't have $150,000 to float, but I'm turning my financial future over to Lincoln Elementary. Good job.
Amen to that.
So, jokingly, before the season started, the spring sports, I just mentioned what a fabulous year we've had at Skyview this year. And we won the state volleyball in the fall, and we won the state boys basketball in the winter, and said, okay, we need a spring one. And these guys really took it serious. This has been a fantastic team to watch. I've watched them grow during the course of the year. And as you know, in spring sports, you can't always control the weather. And so there have been soccer games in the sun, sometimes a little hot, most of the time really cold. There's been a lot of games in the rain. I've seen snow flurries, and there's been wind. And I've placed myself strategically on the sideline on the sunny days and tried to view and cheer from the press box on those other weather days. Not that I'm just not as tough as these guys. One of the things I will mention about this team, when you watch the growth, as the season went on, and this is a real compliment, it's the real meaning of a team, is I no longer could distinguish who the freshmen, sophomore, junior, and seniors were. And to watch players play together the way that they did, and it really didn't matter. And I'll tell you, our coaching staff is top-notch. And I have tremendous appreciation for what they've done, not only in teaching the game of soccer, but just in teaching young men how to be good people and how to be part of a team. I found out yesterday that Terry Rhodes is a huge soccer fan. She can talk the talk, and it's very impressive. And the other thing I'm excited about is it gives me one more chance to give my quote. And then I'm going to turn it over to Jorge Cruz, our head coach. He's really anxious to talk. This is a quote. It's Don Chaney was a longtime basketball coach with the Temple Owls, and his quote was, "It doesn't matter who finishes first, it's who finishes first last." And it doesn't matter who finishes first, it's who finishes first last. Anyway, they finished first last. Tremendous experience to be down at Rio Tinto Stadium and watch them beat a team that had not lost and had not given up very many goals all year long. And so congratulations to the Skyview soccer team.
I really don't have a lot to say, just very grateful to be working around these phenomenal players. I don't think I do that teaching. They're the ones that do that teaching to me, and they make me better, so that works for the program. I'm just very grateful with the Skyview program, coaching staff, and thank you the district for the recognition. So thank you, appreciate it.
I'm Casey Eriks. I'm the assistant coach with these guys.
I'm Cade Olson.
Eduardo Valles.
Slater Chambers.
Jake Johnson.
Ty Erickson.
All right. All right, we'd like to get a picture, so if you'll kind of bunch together here. Thank you, Skyview soccer team. Way to go. And are your parents here? We would like to recognize them for the support that they have given you.
Right there.
Thank you. All right. Next, we would like to recognize some of the groups from Ridgeline, Girls State Golf Championship, the FBLA, the TSA, and the FFA. And Vice Principal Brittany Foster, thank you, will be presenting these.
All right, let's start with girls golf. This is part of our girls golf team. The top four, if you will. They won first place at the state golf tournament this year. So we're incredibly proud of them. They worked very hard, and they won region for the last 3 years in a row. And so this was a big accomplishment for them. So I'm going to let Coach Julie Major say something if she'd like, and then let the girls introduce themselves.
All right, these girls have worked really, really hard. Golfing is a very individual sport, and it takes a lot of not just skill, but mental focus on the course. And they beat a team. The Desert Hills has won 9 years in a row, and they showed up ready to win their 10th state title. And our girls played well the first day and were in the lead, and then the second day held it all together, and most of them played the best rounds that they've played all year and came home with the title. So some of these girls played their personal best. Alexis Wilson, she was second overall, and McKaylee Tenhovey was 8th overall in the state at the state tournament. So way to go, girls.
My name is McKaylee Tenhovey.
Alexis Wilson.
Alyssa Bust. Erin Hendricks.
Thank you and congratulations, girls. Let's get a picture. And if their parents are here, would you please stand? We'd like to recognize you as well. Thank you.
Okay, Lauren. Well, we can do Lauren and Ben, and then we'll keep Lauren up here. How about that? So Ben, you come up too. All right, Lauren and Ben and Mr. Johnson are from our FBLA team at Ridgeline, and they took first place at state for the business law and ethics, and they're going to be going to nationals in June. So, Mr. Johnson, you want to say anything about that?
So Ben and Lauren have done an amazing job this year. They have competed together in business ethics together, and Lauren has also won first place in public speaking this year as well at state. That's her second year in a row taking first place. And just Ben, another recognition for Ben is Ben has been elected as a state officer for FBLA this next year as well. So they've done tremendous. We're excited to go to San Antonio for nationals, and hopefully we'll bring home a national title.
Will you tell us what FBLA stands for?
Yeah, I'll let them do that.
So FBLA stands for Future Business Leaders of America, so it's a business-oriented club.
Okay, all right. Picture? Thank you and congratulations. Are your parents here?
Yes.
Oh.
All right, Lauren also is being recognized because she took first place at state debate in Congress, right? Yes, Congress, as well as first place national qualifier in Congressional Senate. And she's going to be going to state nationals in June as well for that. We're really proud of Lauren. She placed at every debate tournament this year and last year, and she was our state finalist for Sterling Scholar in Business. So, congratulations, Lauren. All right, we did FBLA, FFA. Our FFA went to the state Envirothon, and we had 2 teams that competed, so these are parts of both teams. And both teams, one was representing our FFA and one was representing 4-H, but really it was FFA. They both won first place, and so they are going to nationals when is nationals? Oh, they're going to 2 different ones. So I'm going to let, this is Mrs. Leonard, their advisor. I'll let her tell you a little bit more about it.
So at the Envirothon competition, they have to compete in 5 different areas. So it is a pretty hefty competition to prepare for. These guys worked for several months putting together an oral presentation. This year's topic was on food technology. So how are we going to feed the world with the growing population? And then they also have to compete in 4 other areas that are the same every year. So they compete in a wildlife competition, soils, forestry, and aquatics, yes. So it is a lot of information for them to study and know, but they practiced really hard and they did quite well. So the one team will represent us at the National FFA competition in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it's the end of October, 1st of November. And then the other team will go to it's called the Wildlife Habitat Education Program, and that'll be in Kansas this year. So you guys can introduce yourselves.
Would you introduce them, please?
Hunter Jorgensen.
Mark Wainsgard.
Wyatt Dowgs.
Cody Pate.
Hunter Sherrata.
Heather Nelson.
Okay. Congratulations. And are any of your parents here to be recognized? If you are, please stand. Thank you so much. It's just awesome to see how great the students here in the Cache County School District are doing and what dedication the teachers and administrators have in making sure that these students have activities that are character building and support them and help them learn new things so that they can be successful as they lead the public school system. We are now going to go ahead and let me see where we are here. Thank you. Recognize our Teachers of the Year. Hang on. There we go. And we'll begin with Megan Downs of Sunrise. And Principal Derek Beer will present her.
There's not a more deserving person of this award than Megan. This is my 2nd year at Sunrise Elementary, and I quickly learned that Megan does something that both parents and administrators love, and that is she knows her kids, but then she goes the step above and she knows exactly what to do to meet her kids' needs. We just sat in meetings today reviewing data, and she talked about her kids and showed the growth, and it was impressive. She's an amazing teacher. I had some of her colleagues and some parents write a few things about her. I just wanted to share a few of those. So she is so involved with her students' learning. She's a teacher that you can expect to walk into her room and see her on the floor with a group of kids totally engaged in an activity. I think I see Megan on the floor more than I see her standing. Megan is positive, contributing member of our team. She's always one step ahead, planning and preparing for the next lesson or activity. She researches and finds new ideas to meet learning objectives and student needs. She's really good at meeting the needs of all students. She'll review if needed and challenge the kids that need more. Megan has always been really easy to work with. I worked with her a lot more when she was a resource teacher, but she cares about the kids. She's very organized. She has a fun-loving personality and is very easy to relate to. One of the parents said that you can tell that Megan has a lot of experience as a teacher. She teaches in a way that is understood by all levels of students. You can tell she has a deep love of her work and that it is very important to her. That love and dedication is conveyed and felt by her students each day. She genuinely cares for all the children in her care. And nothing would make her happier than to see them succeed in their school life and also their personal life. She is more than a school teacher to them, as she also teaches them morals and principles and has taught them that they can achieve great things when they put their mind to it. She can see what they're capable of and expects them to always do their very best. She's amazing, and I have learned so much from her. I can't say it any better than that, so congratulations, Megan.
I'm glad half the people left. I grew up in this district, and I have loved this district. My mom was a teacher, and she retired from this district as well. And my Aunt Edith was a teacher. I've had many teachers, especially at Liston Elementary. I've grown up there. I'm friends with them still. I keep in contact with them. My father-in-law was my 5th grade teacher. I have had some great experiences with leaders, too. I had Julie Landine, who I absolutely admired when I started teaching resource. I had Nancy Bartelt hire me as a special ed, mild moderate. That's where I got to know Jenny Buston, a few of them. Then I went into 3rd grade, and I have absolutely loved the 3rd grade setting. My new cohort is right there, sitting there. She came to support me tonight, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate all my family. My mom has been my biggest role model. My kids, I'm home late sometimes, I leave early sometimes, and we just all pitch in and get along, and I just really appreciate this district and all they help us with, and I have loved growing up in it and loved being in it, so thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Could we have all of her family and colleagues and friends stand? And we'd like to recognize you for your support in helping her. Okay, and we'll get a picture. Thank you, Megan. We'd like to now recognize Jacob Downs, a teacher at White Pine Elementary, teaches 4th grade, and his presentation will be by Shelley Healy, principal.
This is so awesome. I have the best teachers at my school. I just love it. Okay, so this is Jake Downs. He is in, miraculously, only his 4th year. Is that really true? Okay. So in his short career as an educator, he's already has his master's degree in instructional technology and learning sciences with a USBE endorsement in educational technology, and he's currently working on a PhD in literacy and leadership at USU. But beyond that, he is fun to work with. So I just want to read some quotes as well. These are from teachers. Jake is a superb teacher. He is masterful in understanding the needs of students and finding ways to meet those needs. Jake is an intricate part of our STAT team. He is mindful. STAT team is our team when students are really struggling in the classroom. He leads a team of teachers to try and brainstorm ideas to help them. He's the leader of that team. He is mindful of student and teacher support and finds ways for the team to help those who are in need of that support. Jake is always willing to help faculty and staff by sharing his knowledge of technology. I have sent an SOS to him more than once and have had his help immediately. Jake is a valuable part of our White Pine family. Another teacher says, I also nominate Jake Downs as Teacher of the Year. He is always willing to try something new. That's research-based, in his classroom and will give it his all. He focuses on teaching best practices and really tries to emulate those practices. Here's a couple parent comments. Jake is a fantastic teacher. No matter what level of ability a child possesses, he will make sure they are challenged. His room is full of independent learners who are constantly monitoring their own progress. Another parent says, when asked, who should be Teacher of the Year, Mr. Downs, 1,000%. We have been so happy this year. My child is loving the school year, and it's been great to see after some struggles last year. He is fun, energetic, attentive, on the ball, and super friendly. We love Mr. Downs. And here's his students, very articulate. Mr. Downs is the best. Mr. Downs is really funny and is the best. And Mr. Downs, because he's fun. So, Mr. Jake Downs, I am happy to award you our Teacher of the Year for White Pine Elementary. And now, would you like to say a few words? Yes, speech.
Well, thanks for those kind words.
I always have to point out when I'm in here that my wife actually is the one that painted those colored pencils on the wall.
Oh, cool.
That's I always have to. She painted when she was we both went to Skyview and she painted it and the district bought it and she got a trip to the Bahamas and didn't take me. So didn't take me. But I'm grateful for this. Working at White Pine I have a fantastic family there and we do work hard and we care about the students and we do what we can to where they're at and take them where we know they can be. And my family, we owe so much to both Utah State and the school district. My wife and I both went to Skyview. She did art and I did debate, so we're left and right brain to a T. And Andrea actually was on the debate team there too, which was great to see you. But then we both got degrees at Utah State, and then while I was doing my levels at Utah State, she taught art at Wellsville with Delpha out there for a few years, and it's just been a great experience. Our 5-year-old can't be here tonight because he's doing Meet the Teacher at Cedar Ridge. So we just, Utah State and Cass District they've done so much for our family. They've done so much for me professionally. And it's a really, living here in the Valley is a great place to live. And I can't thank everyone enough.
Thank you. Could we have his family stand, please? Family.
If you'll paint another picture, I might buy it and you'll take him this time, won't you? Yeah.
All right, thank you, Jake. Okay, we'd like to go ahead and move on to the New Corps Grant Awards. And these awards today will be presented by Alicia Vickers and Mike Corbett, and we appreciate New Corps so much because they do so much to help teachers with individual projects and resources that they need to be more effective in their classes.
Everybody knows what everybody gets. That's kind of interesting to see. You put in for 500
Do you want us to announce? Do you want us to announce the amounts then?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If you want to, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
They were wondering where we were all at. They were sitting here thinking, we got a lot of certificates. We told everybody that they, how we were going to do it. Tim and Gary were supposed to have juice and cookies out there for you, didn't they?
Gary got some for himself.
Is that everybody?
I know, what's this?
Should work.
Hello. Oh, there we go. Hi, I am Alicia Vickers. I'm from New Corps Steel, Utah, the company. It's located in Plymouth, Utah. Most people know where that is. We're one of the largest steel companies in the nation and actually in the world. So they're an awesome company. They love helping the community, which is one of the number one things why I love working there. They share their wealth, not only with us as employees, but also to every community around them. Just a little motto. I like this, what they say. We don't just work here, we live here. Part of New Corps' mission is to be stewards of the communities where we live and work. New Corps teammates are committed to being good neighbors in the communities where we work, live, and raise our families. from schools to parks to charitable organizations and disaster relief. Building stronger communities is part of what we do. And it's so true. I don't know if you all know, we try to do this scholarship every year, and we base it around the STEM program, because I don't know if you realize, but rolling still, there's a lot that goes into it. And Mike here, this is Mike Corbett, he works there with us as well. He gets out there and actually helps roll a still, so he knows exactly. I get to sit in my office, so I don't get all dirty, but there's a lot that goes into it. So we think it's very important to help give back to the community, to help educate the children, and so when they need employment, and that's the kind of stuff we're looking for. So we like to help it out, get the children prepared. So we thank you, first of all, just for everything you do, how hard you work. I have children. Actually, Megan should be back in here, right? Okay. So Megan Downs, she just got Teacher of the Year, and she was my daughter's teacher, so I know exactly what she put into helping them. I know all you guys work very hard, and thank you for applying for this. More people should apply. So keep applying every year. But even if you didn't get the full amount that you wanted or asked for, we hope a little bit of what we gave you will help. So I'll let Mike say a few words.
Thanks a lot. Next month, I'll have worked for Nucor for 35 years. I started here in Plymouth in 84 to 88, and then I transferred to Nucor Yamato, which is by Memphis, Tennessee. And I have a son who just graduated from BYU last year in the engineering program, and he was a recipient of this also. And so I've seen it work in action. And also at the other facility that I came from, it was a very, I don't know how the word to say this, there wasn't a lot of money. I don't know how you say that politically right. But anyway, it was neat to see Nucor reach out to people who really needed churches and whatever it takes. And I have a lot of pride to say that I work at Nucor. By the way, my hand isn't in this because of Nucor, okay? This is a dirt bike accident. But they've been really good to me, so that's another topic. But I just want to congratulate each of you. And like I said, I've seen how it's worked. And as a parent, every dollar adds up. And it's crazy the expenses of college. When your son in college and says, I need $500, and you say, for what? And he goes, a book. And you're like, are you kidding me? So, but I hope that all of you will have a great future. And it's neat to see this today. I was, 2 weeks ago, we gave some grants away at Logan City. And how appreciative the kids and the teachers are, and the board. So I just moved back here 2 years ago, and I live by myself. And like I said, my son was here this week, and I was telling him about it. And like I said, he was telling me how important that money was to him, and obviously to me and his mother. So I'll pass this back to her. But congratulations to the families here. I mean, this is a great thing, and this is better than cookies and Mountain Dew.
Would you? Just one more time, would you tell us where your son graduated from?
I like BYU, but my money went there.
And can we respect Nucor with a round of applause?
That's right. All right, here we go.
Most of these are Aggies.
Yes. Okay, let's get rolling. I think, are we starting over here? Okay, so the first recipient is Terry Mays, and it's Birch Creek Elementary, and she put in a request for headphones is it just like for Computer Lab? Awesome. So she was awarded $250. Thanks. Okay, we have another Birch Creek Elementary, and it's Danielle Bingham. Okay, 5th grade science manipulators. So Oh, I know. Yeah. I pulled my eyes from the paper when I did. Yeah, okay. $530 she was awarded. Okay, Canyon Elementary, and it's Jeremy. Yes, yeah, Jeremy Rouse. So are you accepting it?
And I have to say, Jeremy's the kind of teacher that plays really nice, and he will share with the whole school, so we're all saying thank you.
Awesome. And it looks like they're receiving $489.96. So, thank you. Okay, Canyon Elementary, nope, scratch that. Cedar Ridge Elementary, Joyce Cooley. And she asked for bits, bots, and books. Is that right?
They're buying bits, circuits. They're going to play with some circuits.
Awesome.
Have a makerspace.
Awesome. And $239. Thank you. All right. Heritage Elementary, and is it Shauna Hansen or Shanna? Shauna Hansen, and physical fitness and exercise. Great. And it's $1,250. Awesome. So what did we buy you? What are we buying you?
I need updated equipment. Our school is big, and so I'm trying to figure out
Just
what's
to replenish
going
it
on.
all.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations. All right. Heritage Elementary. Say your first name. I don't want to kill it. Mika Bateson. Okay, Mika Bateson. The STEM at Home. What does that do? Just
So I teach kindergarten, and I have STEM kits that the kids and their families can check out and keep for a week, and then bring it back and get another one.
that is super awesome.
This is in addition to, I wrote another grant, so this helped get some more.
Get you all there. Okay, and we are awarding you $200 to help. Thank you. All right, Lewiston Elementary. I am going to murder your last name. Ashlina Johnson and Carol DeFries. Oh, okay. All right. And preparing for new science standards. Awesome. And we are awarding $500 to your account.
We're so excited.
Yes, thank you. All right. Another, Lincoln Elementary, Jessica Madsen. Hello. STEM books for struggling readers. That is awesome. And that to me is awesome because I have some children that have struggled, and anything like that helps. So that's awesome. Thanks for thinking of those guys. And we are awarding $501. Woohoo! Angela Justison. Does that sound right? Well, it's skipped. Okay. Erica Blackburn from Millville Elementary. And she went for amping up our science and nature center.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I teach preschool, and it's an inclusion class. So
Oh, cool.
we're going to buy an ant farm.
Oh,
and a
sweet.
microscope.
Sweet. Nice. And we have awarded you $350 to help with that. Oh, perfect. So cute. Okay. Where am I at? Okay, Millville Elementary, no, Mountainside Elementary. Lissa Johnson. Is she here? Oh, there we go. And cinder block builders and ramps for special education preschool students. And we are awarding you $210. Thank you. Thank you. All right. North Park Elementary, Trina Daly. All right. Moving and creating with music. Fun. That sounds fun. $403 we are giving you. Providence Elementary. And I'm going to slaughter you. What? Will you say your name? Okay. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's a beautiful name, though. Fraction Rock. That sounds cool. I'm not going to say that word. Abstraction and Success. Cool. Yes, exactly. $410 to help with that. River Heights Elementary, Christina Brown. Nice. Oh, I know you. I recognize you. Yeah. Okay. I don't have your names. Are you part of the fun? Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay, so computer mice. Awesomeness. Okay, and so you are being rewarded $90. Thank you. Okay, so I gotta find my place again. River Heights Elementary. All right, Cindy Larson and Cheryl Orm. All right. STEM, so algebra, tiles, and sanitons. I don't even know what that is. So.
Applying for your
Yeah. Yes. It's a good one. So $407. Thank you. Okay, Summit Elementary. Allison Dowgs, I'm sorry. Teaching with technology. So what are you getting? 2 iPads. We are awarding you $598. Awesome. Thank you. Sunrise Elementary, Brittany Chambers. Oh, you are so Brittany. Okay, and then we'll just do Megan Downs, that had to leave as well from Sunrise. She did help our classroom gain some more technology, and I think she was going for Chromebooks or, okay. So Brittany was given $355.78, and Megan was awarded $300. So thank you. Okay, Wellsville Elementary. It's Janalee Nilsson, Bonnie Collamore, Heidi Johnson, if she's here or not. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay. STEM for the 2nd grade. So perfect. And it's $385. Nice. Okay, Wellsville, Michelle Van Slyke. Okay. Mice for Chromebooks, and she was awarded $100. Okay. White Pine Elementary, Tiffany Kinder. Okay. She's not here. Okay. That's okay. What's the matter with science? Sounds like a program or something she's getting. Yeah, the matter. There you go. $475.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So excited.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, North Cache Middle School, Marla Trowbridge. Trowbridge. I'm trying. I'm horrible at this. I have weird last name too. Not that yours is weird. Sorry. Oh. Me too. But my maiden name's just as bad, so it doesn't matter. So new microscopes for science classes, right? Awesome. So. Oh, sounds like some of our work stuff. No, just kidding. $419.98.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Yeah. Also, North Cache Middle School, Carrie Edwards. You're not Carrie. Increasing literacy. So I imagine just get some books and Awesome stuff there, and it's $200. Okay, South Cache Middle School. And Heidi Wells, and Discovering STEM Through Story. That's cool. Okay, all right. You're welcome. It's $300. So, thank you. Okay, and then we have Rachel Kenning from Spring Creek Elementary. Investing Properties of Matter. Investigating. I need to just look closer. I'm sorry. And you're grabbing it. Okay. And $300 as well. Nice. Okay, Green Canyon High School. And it's Ronan Sabag. And Teach Turbo Boost, enhancing teaching and learning for students with special needs. Awesome. And it's $400. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And Mountain Crest High School, Jessie Bingham. We have her. And it is for, I don't know, graphing calculators. That's awesome. So we're giving you $250. Yes. Mountain Crest as well. Shonda Wenger. Wenger. Okay, I'm just going to stop saying it so I don't murder it more. Evaporation flask for water cycle lab. That sounds cool. Nice. So we are awarding you $200. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Mountain Crest as well. Wendy Hoskins. And algebra tiles and graphing whiteboards. Nice. And we are awarding you $200. Congratulations. Thank you. Ridgeline High School, Lane Messick, Kyle Day, Kelly Bennett, Richard Lisenby. Okay. Okay. Congratulations. Paper rocket launchers. I'm sure my children will love that kind of stuff. Yes. $250. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. Skyview High School, Allison Griffiths. Oh, there she is. Can't wait to create. Art, or what are you? The what? The what? Oh, I need to go back, right? $150. Thank you. I'll never live that down. Don't tell them at work. Skyview High School, Jacqueline Shingleton. Okay, good. Sign of the Times. Is that what it is? Okay. And what is that? Oh, sweet. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. $250 for that. Thank you. So that is all of them, but we just want to say thank you again. We just awarded almost $11,000 for it, total throughout Cache County and Logan and all the different districts, like the South Idaho districts, Fox Elder. We awarded over $52,000, so it's awesome. So I just want to say thank you, keep up the great work. I grew up in the school system as well. Kathy's my neighbor, and I miss her because we're in a different area now, but thank you as well. I'm a Skyview girl now, a Mountain Crest girl, now a Skyview girl, so it's been fun watching my kids grow up in the area, and like I was able to. And Mike, would you like to say anything?
I appreciate y'all, really, and the board members too, and good luck to you being sworn in. But like I said, when you get through the process, once you've been a student, then you raise a student, and then you're on the backside. And to be on this end of it is so cool, and everyone that comes up is so appreciative. You can tell it's genuine, and like I said, we work for such a great company, and I can't be, this makes me more proud. This is, I wonder if I'm doing this because I fell off a motorcycle, but so I'm not a public speaker, as you can tell. But I'm real, and I mean what I'm saying, and I'm not, they didn't tell me what to say, but I just really appreciate the teachers and the time you guys put in, and same with the board members and stuff like that. So congratulations to all of you guys.
Okay, Alicia and Mike, we'd like to get a picture of you. Yes. Those of you who are still here, if you would come up, that would be so awesome. And thank you, Alicia and Mike, for that generous donation to our teachers. That's really awesome.
And Jenda, hold off on the picture once you get them all up here, because I want to just say something before they all run to the, okay? So get in your positions. Now, they just gave you, so hold the picture for a minute.
Hang on.
Hold on.
Superintendent has something he wants to say.
This great company just told you how great they think you are. I want you to know that of all the companies that I've had the privilege of working with over the years, this company, even when they went through a recession and their people were working only part-time, they kept coming and giving to us as a district and to the other districts. They never quit, even though things were tough for them. So remember that, and a big thank you to Nucor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Thank you.
Well, you are welcome to stay if you would like to, but we're going to move on with our other business. Yeah. This is a good time to leave if you choose to do that. And would you check and see if we have any public input? None? Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. We'll go ahead, and there is no public input, so we will move to the consent agenda, and I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I make the motion to
go ahead.
To approve the consent agenda.
I second.
Any discussion, questions? Okay, we'll go ahead and vote then. You don't have the agenda? Okay, so you just have to say yes or no. Okay.
Could we please ask those people sitting on the back row to move forward?
So Chris, you're not able to vote then?
He can't.
No. Okay. All the votes are in except for one. And
yes.
Okay.
Okay. And so they are unanimously in favor of the motion.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Kathy told me I can be on the board as long as I don't vote.
All right. We have a few other items to approve. Request for the approval of the patterns of strength and weaknesses evaluation process. And Joel, I'll take a motion to approve this.
I move that we approve the request for approval of the patterns of strengths and weaknesses, and I'll wait until you ask for a comment before I make another comment.
All right. Will someone second?
I second it.
Okay. Questions?
No, but I do have a comment. Thank you for this. Because after a little more study on this, I realized that is such a step in the right direction. Having a special needs student myself 30 years ago, when this was not even thought of, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, we will vote.
And yes for me.
Okay. So all the votes are in and unanimously in favor of the motion.
Okay. Thank you, Joel. All right. I will take a vote to approve motion to approve the resolution exemption from participation in the Utah retirement systems. Sorry, Steve and Dale.
unless you have any questions. It's just a formality we have to do.
I move that we approve the resolution of exemption from participation in the Utah retirement systems.
Second.
Anybody have any questions? Okay, we'll vote.
Yes.
Kathy, is yours isn't coming
Oh.
through, Kathy?
I thought I clicked on it, sorry, it's still here. Okay, got it.
So all the votes are in and unanimously in favor of the motion.
Okay, thank you. All right, I will take a motion for the approval of the 2019-2020 school fees and policy update.
I move that we approve the 2019-2020 school fees and policy update. I second it.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, we'll go ahead and vote.
And yes for me.
Thanks for your work on
Yes.
this, Mike. It's
Yeah.
been a long process.
Yep, thank you.
So all the votes are in and unanimously in favor of the motion.
Okay, I'll take a motion for the approval of the comprehensive guidance program approval.
I move that we approve the comprehensive guidance program. I second it.
Any questions on this? Okay, we'll vote.
Yes.
Okay, all the votes are in and
Okay.
unanimously in favor of the motion.
All right. Before we do a motion for the school land trust plans, has everyone read the plans and got the changes back to the principals? Everybody's good? Okay. I will take a motion to approve the 2019-2020 school land trust plans.
I make the motion that we approve the 2019-2020 school land trust plans.
I second it.
Okay, let's vote.
Yes.
Okay, all the votes are in and unanimously in favor of the motion.
Okay. And the next one is a motion to approve the Teacher and Student Success Act framework. I'll take a motion.
I move that we approve the Teacher and Student Success Act framework for this district.
Someone second.
I second it.
Any questions, concerns? Okay, we'll go ahead and vote. And thank you for working on this too, Mike.
Yes.
Okay, all the votes are in and unanimously in favor of the motion.
Okay. All right, and then the last item on the action agenda is a request for approval to remove the board policy advisor committees.
I move that we remove the advisory committees from the board policy.
I second it.
Okay, any questions? All right, we'll go ahead and vote.
Yes.
So now who do we tell that to? Carolyn to take it off, or Jenda, do you take it
I
off?
think Jenda's been
You'll take it off.
following that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right, next then, we'll go to our reports agenda.
By the way,
And-
the votes are all in
Oh,
and
sorry.
unanimously in favor of the motion.
I want to get out of here. Oh, boy. Okay. Moving right along, I'll slow down my pace. A report on the dual language immersion report.
I'm Sean Walker, the Deletion Coordinator, and I hope you have a copy of the policy. Did it get loaded?
It's not loaded, right?
I'm sorry, I did get that sent to her, but I'll just tell you what I'm going to send to you then so that you can get it for action later. As you may already know, we do employ several foreign guest teachers in our dual language immersion programs. These teachers are sponsored on J1 visas by the State Board of Education. And these visas are valid for 3 years and can then be extended up to 5 years. So we do know that strong teachers are probably the key to any classroom success for our students. And we do have teachers who want to stay with us and continue working for Cache County School District. So in considering those options for us, that would require a permanent resident card sponsorship, which would have to be sponsored by the school district. And in speaking with our dual immersion principals and the district administration, we know that that's going to be a needed and wise investment moving forward. So we feel like it's important to have a policy to help guide that as we look to sponsoring teachers. So what we have created is some policy text to guide that. Basically, what it will allow us to do is after a teacher goes through the normal evaluation processes, they would remain temporary employees as long as they're guest teachers, but then if we're considering them for sponsorship, it would happen during that 2 years of their extension, of that 5-year extension period on their J1 visa. And the requirements basically state that they would have to go through all the evaluation processes that are normal for our teachers, that the board would agree to pay for the majority of the cost for the step 1. There are 3 steps for the process for a permanent resident card. The sponsoring agency, so that would be our district, does have to cover the cost of step 1. Steps 2 and 3, the cost can be passed on to the employee who are helping to sponsor. So we would, in the policy, we agreed to pay for that first part, and then the employee would agree to stay with the school district after the rewarding of the card for an additional 4 years. And if they were to leave before those 4 years, they would pay at a prorated basis back to the district that cost. So that's all I outlined in this policy, so I'll make sure that you get that. I'm sorry that didn't come through.
Tomorrow.
So for your consideration, and then we'll come back later, I guess, for action
Sean.
then, if you have any questions. let me
any
know.
questions?
I do. If I remember right, when I was looking into this type of visa for a young man who wanted to stay with me from Chile, the step 1 process is pretty expensive. What's the cost right now?
So it looks to us, in working with our immigration lawyer, that the cost to us is anywhere between $4,000 and $7,000 on that step, and then it's an additional $4,000 to $6,000 beyond that could be passed on. So it's a good $10,000 cost, and it takes about 1.5 to 2 years also, the process. So, yeah.
So would they have to apply would they have to apply right when they get here?
No, we would not consider it until after we've had them here for 3 years of successful teaching, and then we would apply for an extension for those 5 years. And during that 2-year extension is when we would start this process.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Has that ever happened with any of the teachers
We
yet?
are doing that right now with one Chinese teacher, and we do have a Brazilian who we'd like to start the process with, so we felt like it was important to move forward on a policy, so.
Okay.
And the opportunity, if you haven't taken it, to go in and watch some of these teachers from other countries teach. I've never had a more rewarding experience and not understood a thing that was being said. But I didn't want to, the Portuguese teachers are just exceptional at the energy level that they bring to teaching. So if you haven't taken the opportunity, that $5,000 to $10,000 investment to keep somebody who, in my estimation, is just absolutely way, just the language skills plus the teaching skills, it's really, it would be an advantage to keep some of these teachers. You're not going to get everybody, because some of them bring their families, some of them don't bring their families. Some of them would not ever want to stay here. Others have had that desire. So it'll just be on an individual basis. But you ought to take the opportunity to go in and just spend some time in a dual immersion classroom. It's really something else.
I could
I
take
would
you on a
suggest
tour anytime.
A first grade classroom after maybe just 1 or 2 months. Because you'll just be blown away what happens.
Do they get paid just according to the same salary scale?
They do.
As everyone else? Okay. All right. Thank you, Shauna.
Thank you.
Okay, Dale, the monthly financial report.
Thank you, Dale.
Glad you enjoyed that.
Did I miss something?
That's worse than Alan.
That was,
At
you
least
didn't
Alan
hear it?
asked.
There was a little pause there, and I thought he was done.
At least Alan asked for the Reader's Digest version.
Well, you've been under the wire this week to make sure that this budget is working, for sure.
Yeah, so the budget report you have to refer, if you would like to spend some time with that, you can. And if there's any questions on that, I'd be glad to take them. But just let you know that we have been working with our salary negotiations with our teachers, and also working also to develop next year's budget, which we'll present to the board in the next board meeting. But we have actually reached a tentative agreement with our teachers, and so that'll also be brought to you for ratification. But yeah, next year's budget is looking good. Legislature was looking out for us again each year, and so we'll be happy to present that. And one thing to just remind you again is that we will be holding a truth and taxation hearing, or if you decide. I guess it's not my decision, but we do need now to bring the voted leeway tax rate back up to the maximum, which is the 0016 rate, where they allow us to let that float down for 5 years following the certified tax rate. But if we don't bring that back up after the 5-year period, then it reduces the amount of the state subsidy that we would receive, so that the guarantee would be on a lower tax rate than the 0016. And so it's really important that we do restore that rate, and the budget is built right now anticipating that will happen. So not to put any pressure on you, but but that's where it is.
I think we kind of tentatively said we do it August 21st. Is that right? The truth and taxation? Okay.
I have a question that I got from several teachers at different schools talking about the TSSA money.
Mm-hmm.
If the district is going to pay, it's going to take 25% off the top for salary augmentation. Will that go on the salary schedule, or will it be a one-time ongoing thing like it was last year?
Yeah, the TSSA funds now are ongoing funds, and it's anticipated they're actually going to grow quite a bit over time. So the intent is that of the 25% we use of TSSA funds, that would be part of the cost of living, the negotiated cost of living increase placed on the salary schedule. So
Glad
it would
I
be
answered that
ongoing.
right.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, any other questions?
You need to know the other districts are being allowed to use 40%, and other districts are not only having a truth and taxation hearing for the purpose Dell suggested, but they are also having it to increase taxes, to increase teacher salaries. So if we get caught up in a race for teacher salaries based on property tax, we're going to be losers. So just keep that in mind. We've got to work with this tax task force, because they are heading down a road where they would like to have an opportunity to have the public vote on making income tax available for more than just education.
So how do we work with that task force?
Well, you're going to have to work with our local legislators and let them know that that's not any direction that we want to see the state go.
So we have the school visit and luncheon in October.
Right.
Do we need to do something with
But
them before that?
that could even be too late.
So,
So
It'll
when
be
they're
too
on a
late. They
schedule
will have
where they're
done
gonna
interim
have
stuff
8.
already.
Pardon?
October will be too late. They've already started
Yeah,
talking in interim
So
about
we,
that.
I suggested, if they have a meeting over in Box Elder, I suggest that we have a big contingency there and let them know that they've got a transportation problem is what they really have. And they're using sales tax money to build roads, and that's put a crimp on funding everything else. And you can't, we could put this district in financial bind too by just starting to build schools with general fund. And it would put us in the exact same position they're in right now. But the only, not the only thing they're considering, but there's sure a lot of talk about opening up that silo of income tax and letting it go for things other than education. And that's gonna hurt higher ed too.
so even though at that town hall, Lyle said, now none of these approaches or.
Yeah.
Is that not true, really?
Well, they've got to come up with something. They know they have to. So one of the easiest things, if they could get the public sold on it, would be because income tax is rising quicker than the other, faster than the other taxes, just start using it to meet more needs. But they can't do that on their own. They would have to couch that in such a way that the public would buy into that and vote for a change of the Constitution. I can't believe that they could ever sell that, but maybe they could.
I think they could, because what they would use is Health and Human Services.
Yeah.
Medicaid
Yeah.
expansion, and
Saying
people would go for it.
Saying we're gonna take care of the little kids
Yep,
who are coming to
exactly.
school, yeah.
And all the old folks who are
Yeah.
on Medicaid.
Yeah.
And because there was a bill sponsored in the House, or Senate, during the last week of the session, that would have put a referendum on the ballot this fall for that very thing. So that's kind of the way they're leaning.
Yeah.
And they feel like they have some good public support for that.
Yeah,
So
I think they
what are
have 2
things-
votes that support that. The one for Medicaid expansion passed, the one to support education failed.
Right.
So that's the rationale, is that people don't want to pay for education, but they do want to pay for Medicare.
Yes.
So are there things that we individually or as a board can do?
So you need to talk to your neighbors and your friends, and you need to get the information out there that the history of the income tax is very easy to know. It came about because the people in the state of Utah wanted more money for education. They deliberately tied the hands of the legislature so they couldn't spend it for anything else. So the spin now that they have to be able to get into that pot of money because the rest of it's actually roads. I mean, they have dedicated funds they take out of sales tax that automatically goes, it's earmarked. So they don't even have to vote on it. It just goes. Well, that's how they've got themselves into this predicament of not having enough money. And, when I brought up the bonding issue, they said, well, they have to be paid. We all know that bonds have to be paid, but you pay them off because the expense is so great, you pay it off in 20-year increments or 15-year increments. And that's the way most roads are built too, unless they get the money from the federal government. And when I asked the gentleman who presented, I can't remember his name, but he said most states build their roads with federal dollars. And we have taken about $1 billion more and said, yeah, go ahead and build roads. And consequently, we now have a problem funding everything else. And they're looking, instead of just saying, I know the tax on gas is not, you can't build your hopes on that. But if you build your hopes on taxing those things that pay for roads, you tax gasoline and then you tax electricity because that's where they're going to go. So you just put a tax on electricity and everybody still pays for roads. That's a common sense approach. You don't go over and look at your neighbor's silo of money and say, well, you've got more than you need. If education had more than you needed, I would be happy to share for Medicaid. I think that's a legitimate need, but we don't and never have had the type of money. And if you want me to get off this soapbox, I will, but it's teacher salaries is really what we're saying. When you don't fund education, you don't fund salaries. And so we keep having our teachers, who we honored here tonight, all these students we honored here tonight, but we expect them to work for less than they could get in almost 7 out of 10 places besides Utah. And it's just not fair.
Would you be willing to prepare like a sheet with talking points?
Yes, I
on
would,
it?
yeah.
Would
I
you?
had one ready that night, but
Okay.
I could tell they weren't in any mood to let anybody have
Do
the mic.
you want to do that at the retreat? or
I
would
can
you
do
like to
that, yeah,
Okay.
I can do that.
We'll add that on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you want to add about this? Okay. All right. Dale, are you done or are you still going? Okay, thank you. And I'll just say Dale did a wonderful job presenting and validating our budget to the negotiation committee. So we appreciate that. That was awesome. Okay, the board committee reports. Oops. All right. Let's have Terry and Dale go ahead and give yours, and I'll just hold off and do mine next time. So this is reports from the National School Board Conference, something that stood out to you, something you'd like to see us maybe look into more.
Or you can warm up while I'm talking. So I had, I went to a class on alternative high schools, and specifically taught by the Missouri State Board, a Missouri State Board member, and alternative high school principal in Liberty, Missouri. And it was a well-done presentation. It was very impressive. And I...
This is America in...
Pardon?
That was
your thing. I got this, or she showed this really great video there. It only takes a minute and like 20 seconds, but it's pretty awesome. And so I just want everyone to see it for a minute, literally. Yep.
This is America in 1900. This is a car in 1900, and a phone, and a high school. This is America in 1950, and a car, and a phone, and a high school. This is today, a car, a phone, a high school. Whoa, back up. So cars are now this, and phones are now this, but high schools are still that? American high schools are based on the same model, and it's been over 100 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
But why? In 1900, it made sense for high schools to prepare students for that. But in 2017, shouldn't they be preparing students for this, and even this? So why are we still granting diplomas based on the time a student spends in a seat? Why are we still using the Carnegie Unit, which was developed in 1906 and says the formula for learning is 4 years sitting at a desk multiplied by one subject taught at a time equals students ready for the future?
That's the end.
Impressive.
I thought it was. It was an excellent class. And one of the other classes that I went to was about asking or getting feedback from the people that we serve, which is students, and asking better questions. And it was a vendor class, so they were trying to sell their service. But I think we could do better at getting more input from students that we serve. And so I left a file for Steve because he likes paper. And so I left a file.
I wonder where that came from.
That's where it came from.
From heaven.
From, oh, thank you. Just a file of examples of some questions that they suggested asking better survey questions to get information from students and parents that is more useful for us. And now that we have a statistician officially on our board, I'm sure he can come up with even better questions. But I just feel like we're sort of lacking in input from the people that we actually serve.
That was a comment made by Randall, too, so I have written that down as being a topic to discuss at the retreat. Are you okay with that, everyone, if we include that in? And Terry, do you want to direct us in that?
Sure.
At the retreat?
So the last thing then I had was...
wait a minute. Randall, maybe work with Randall, because he
Okay.
said he would like to help with the information he had, too. Okay.
So the last thing I had was a quote from Sitting Bull, which is, let us put our minds together and see what life we can make for our children.
Okay, thank you.
It's a great one.
That is. Okay, Dale.
I was just quickly going to report on one session I attended about school bus safety. And it was interesting. They threw out some interesting statistics showing that 26 million students ride the bus every day, both to and from school, so that's twice a day. There's over 480,000 buses operating in the nation right now, school buses operating. And that equates to about 62 billion miles per year. The thing they were focusing on was terroristic threats, how they now are becoming threats in the school bus arena. That school buses are a very easy target. It said there's quite a bit where people are stealing radios from school buses and are then able to actually track the location of all of the other district buses. And so they're saying that we really need to safeguard against terrorism. They said really buses don't have any security built into them as far as combating any terroristic threats. But there are some things that they said we really can focus on. One is doing their pre and post trip inspections of the buses to make sure that there's not backpacks or lunch boxes or something there that could easily be something that could be very harmful, whether it be a bomb or whatever it might be. And that the other thing is that if bus drivers are approached during a route from someone outside, that they need to remember that the bus is there to protect the students, and their role is to keep the bus rolling. The best way to avoid problems is not stop and let somebody on, but to keep the bus rolling. And realize that they too shouldn't try to be Superman and try to run down someone who's made a threat or whatever it might be, but their role is to protect the children and to make sure they travel safely in the buses. But anyway, it was kind of a fun session to be a part of. And like you say, it really was kind of a vendor bill in some ways too, but it is an eye-opener to help us realize maybe that's something we need to keep an eye out for. We've learned that Happy Valley here, Cache Valley, isn't quite as happy as it once used to be. I don't know, there's a lot of interesting things that go on here that now mirror what we've seen happen in larger cities. That's becoming very prevalent here in the valley too.
So does Wayne have safety things that he's working on in that area at all, or has that just never really, I mean, I've never thought about that before.
Yeah, I'm sure it's part of their annual training that they have on that, helping them establish protocol as to how to handle each type of situation like that. Maybe you would know better than me, but I don't know. But I can't say exactly what's being presented, but I would be quite sure that's actually happening.
Okay. Would you be interested in having a report from Wayne on transportation at this retreat as to, I mean, he's doing a great job on the Friday update.
Mm-hmm.
Interested or not?
You could just send him a quick email and ask him to put something in the Friday
Oh.
board update about that.
Okay.
I think
About
the only,
what types of safety training they have regarding terrorist threats or things like that.
Okay.
I think the only other concern would be how long are we going to be meeting that night? The list is getting
Full.
pretty long.
Yeah, I'll bring a list. Okay, I will bring a list next meeting, and then we can just cross out whatever you don't want to. Okay, thank you. Both of those were great ideas. As far as the board president report, this attachment here is the board schedule for our meetings for next year, and I did leave July 11th on as it was originally scheduled. We were able to change some plans that we had so that I can be here on that date, so that'll work out great. And then I asked Carolyn if she would add the 2020 retreat to this calendar so everybody can get it on when it comes out and we vote on it for the year. So if you have any concerns about any of these dates, please let me know before, before next meeting. Okay?
Was the July 11th one, is that the one we moved to the 9th?
Yes, so we're moving it back.
Okay.
All right. Is that a problem? Everybody okay? Okay. It seemed like when we moved it, it just affected everybody no matter what day we put it on, where this date was already calendared. So, all right, and then the next thing, okay, everybody knows what the graduations are for next week and your assignments and where the verbiage is that you need for the acceptance. Everybody got that? Okay. You got your hand sanitizer to bring with you for those 2 days. And just one thing, parking up there is a nightmare because when we go for Cache High, the terrace is closed down. And so is that, is it 7th North?
Where the other parking garages meet?
No, the road that goes in front. Have they got that road?
Yeah.
Part of it's closed down. So I called parking today to see what's the best thing to do. And they said that they have made arrangements for people who are going to Cache High graduation to park down at the stadium and ride a bus. And that will start at 12:30. So that is an option. Another option is I have a Maritime parking pass that can get me into the terrace by the Alumni Center. And I could stop at the parking lot and we could all move over into a van and I could put that up. I'm not sure if this is really honest, so tell me if you think it's not. And we could all go and park there.
This just went out all over the internet.
Oh!
I can't wait to notify the second officer. I'm going to be the only board member sitting there. So you will be in there.
Okay, well, scrap that plan. How funny.
I
Okay.
usually just park at the stadium or the Spectrum and then just walk up the hill. It takes less than 5 minutes.
Is it, how come the parking thing is closed?
They're redoing all of the parking. They're redoing the terrace and also is it the
The
parking lot to
road,
the east?
yeah.
And I mean, it's just going to be a mess for a while. And it sometimes causes, as I've been up on campus, and maybe you can tell me if this is true or not true, other roads are closed in the process of them doing this. So Mike and I drove up and we came off of 4th North and by the business, the Huntsman's Business Center, took the road around to in front of Old Main and then over to the Alumni Center. And there is a parking garage there, but there is a fee to park there. So I don't know, do we want everybody just to decide on your own where you park or?
I think it's easier that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody just gets there, however you get there. All right, so allow yourself enough time to.
You and Chris can use your special passes because you're special, and the rest of us will walk.
Well, would anybody like to ride to this with me?
I'll talk to you after.
Okay. Okay.
Off the record.
And off the record. And then, Kay, I have made arrangements for us to have dinner at the Bull's Head. Is everybody okay with that?
Yep.
In between the two? Okay. All right,
You
that's it for
remember,
me.
I won't be there.
What?
Remember, I will not be there.
You will not be there, and are you missing the first day, which school?
The
is it?
last one, Ridgeline, I won't be able to make that one.
Okay, and then Steve will be gone too, on that last one, on the first day. Okay, all righty. I am not ever going to be dishonest with my parking pass. Did that just go out too? All right, Superintendent.
If we're going to get this meeting over in
Yeah.
the 2 hours that we told Chris that we never went over 2 hours, I don't have much more, except I love these, and we don't usually have an hour and more of that kind of recognition, but it's really fun. Those We the People kids were just so excited to be recognized for some academic accomplishments. I just really loved that. And for an area that, Mountain Crest was the one who got that going. And what was her name? The teacher out there that taught?
Obrey.
Yeah,
Margaret.
Margaret Obrey. And then she just planted the seed at Skyview, and the field just was ready to harvest there in Skyview, and they took over the program, and it's just been wonderful. But Skyview has had one of those fantasy years, 3 state championships. If they'd have picked up football, it would have been like going to Africa and getting the top 5 of the Big Five.
So much better that they got soccer, though. You're welcome.
And bless your heart. Dee Ashcroft has worked with me for the 23 years that I've known him to help me appreciate what goes on out there with that little ball and the out-of-bounds line. And
Mike Monson's comment in this meeting was only elicited because I found out he's a soccer hater. Like you. And so
I don't hate it. I just have. I do not hate soccer. I just have some ideas on how it might to be a better spectator sport.
Okay, anybody else have anything that you want to go out?
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate you spending the extra time here tonight. But I agree with you. The recognitions are really awesome.
They are.
Yeah, they're great. We have nothing else, so this meeting is adjourned, and thank you, Chris.